Yo, what's up guys, Rackals here. So pretty recently for Hypixel's 10-year anniversary, they hosted a bingo card event. And so if you missed it or didn't hear about it, basically there was one easy card, one medium card, and one hard card, each with 25 different tasks that you had to complete across different game modes for lots of cool rewards. Now I actually thought this was super cool and I had a lot of fun completing it. And I think the majority of people would agree with me on that. And not only was it fun, it was actually pretty beneficial for a lot of the games on the network. It's no secret that a lot of Hypixel's player count goes towards skyblock these days, but really there's more than dozens of different game modes across the network, and a lot of them don't actually have that high of player counts. Now if you know me, you know that I obviously really love Quakecraft, and generally it only ever really peaks around 30 or so players on a weekend, commonly dropping into single-digit player counts on off hours. Now when this bingo card released, there was actually a task for Quakecraft in all 3 of the different bingo cards, which meant that all of a sudden there's basically multiple queues going 24/7. It was a genuinely super noticeable change, and although those numbers have again dropped back down since the end of the event, one of the other benefits that I would consider of the bingo cards was that it introduced a lot of new people to the game who had previously had either no experience with it or didn't even know what it was. For me personally, I blacked out all 3 bingo cards, which means it had me playing some games such as like Warlords and Mega Walls, which I had little to no experience in, and I ended up finding myself enjoying this. And so considering all these benefits, alongside the positive reception of the event from all the players, I genuinely think that Hypixel should consider bringing these back on like a seasonal type basis. Now although it wasn't officially announced, the admin in charge of the build team recently mentioned that the standard main lobby and game lobbies will no longer be coming back and instead are going to actually be replaced by seasonal lobbies, which means instead of the regular main lobby that we've had for the past however many years, it will constantly be either a spring, summer, fall, or winter lobby. And I think what they could do to coincide with these constant changing of the lobbies is having a bingo card for each new seasonal lobby that rolls around to go with it. I personally could see myself attempting to black out the bingo cards every single time they came around if they adopted this system, and because this would only happen 4 times per year, people wouldn't get too burnt out or tired of it too quickly. It would also give players lots of time to complete all the tasks, and as I previously mentioned, come with the added benefit of introducing new players to games that they didn't previously know of and boosting the player counts across all games on the network. Now if they do adopt this system, I think there should also be a couple changes to the way they do the bingo cards. One of the most common complaints from the 10-year anniversary bingo was that players would essentially just complete their task and then immediately leave the game. And this was absolutely something that I noticed. Like I said before, I played a lot of Quake during this time, and the task on the easy bingo card was to dash once. And if you don't know how to do that, you left click. So essentially we would pretty consistently be having games start with a full 8 or 12 players, and then about 5 seconds later they've all gone to the lobby because they've left clicked to dash and then immediately gone on to complete something else. I do think it was kind of lame. The bingo event was supposed to be, you know, sort of like a 10-year anniversary, looking back on all the different game modes and appreciating them, and I think leaving the game immediately after completing the task is sort of ignoring the purpose of the entire event. I saw a lot of people discussing this on the forums as well as on Twitter, saying stuff like it should force you to stay to the end of the game in order to get your bingo tile. And while I see where they're coming from, I actually disagree with this because some games on the network last a really long time. Probably the most obvious example of this is Mega Walls, where games pretty much last about half an hour and commonly go way longer than that. It's really not reasonable to expect people to stay to the end of that. If they say, for example, die early in the game, they're probably not going to want to sit around for like half an hour doing nothing. Also, while like I said, I do think it's lame that a lot of people went to the lobby after completing their tasks, it's not like I don't understand why. Like they were just kind of doing it for the rewards, trying to complete it as fast as quickly, and that's like fair enough, honestly, especially if they make this a repeating seasonal event like I suggested, instead of it just being like an anniversary celebration. And so instead of making players stay to the end, I think that Hypixel should try to put more focus onto repetitive tasks that force players to actually play the game a little bit. Once again, going back to Quake, the hard bingo tile was a decent example of this because it required players to get a kill streak of 5, which meant that they actually had to spend time playing the game and getting kills. And so I think if the tiles focused more on, say for example, getting 25 total kills, or even just playing 5 games, sort of more similar to how the quest system works on Hypixel, I think this would be a way more effective way to get players to actually engage themselves with the game that they're playing. Those are just my ideas for the bingo event. I would genuinely love to make it see a return, along with some of the changes that I've mentioned, but let me know what you guys think. Do you agree or disagree with anything I said, or do you have any completely other ideas? Drop a comment down below and let me know. Thanks for watching, I've been Rackals, and peace.